Welcome to You Were Designed for Greatness. This is Donna Tashton, your host, and I have a guest all the way from, where are you, Estelle?
I am in the East Midlands in the UK, so we're kind of central England.
Central England. I love technology and making friends all around the world. In the old days, we would have had to send letters
Yeah.
and correspond, and Zoom has and other technology has made it possible to meet. So I have been looking forward to your story and the amazing journey you have been on. Tell what's your life like today?
Today, I live a very happy, healthy life. I have two incredible little boys that are very resilient and confident and outgoing. I just feel really blessed to be happy, healthy, and doing things that I love. So I feel really, genuinely blessed. People want kind of riches and all the fancy things, but I am just, so simple when it comes to those things. The kids are happy and healthy. I have an amazing fiance who supports me massively, and my business is growing. I'm able to help, thousands of people every week or every month. It's like the dream job. So right now, I am literally living the dream.
You're living your passion.
I
So
am,
what
yes.
do you do for these many, many people that you help every day?
So I founded the Immortal Monkey, which is a support platform for business owners from startup to level up. So whether you are brand new to business and just starting out, you have an idea, or whether you're already established in business and wanting to level up, we have lots of training, resources, and support available. And my passion lies in the social media side of growing your business. I managed to create the fastest growing network for women in the world. It turned over more than £1 million in its first 2 years. And this was all down to social media. So now it is my passion and my mission to educate as many people as I can about the power of social media, especially Instagram, because I know so people get so scared. I like to just demystify it all, and hopefully encourage as many people as possible to be using the platform to grow their business, but also to connect with like minded people.
Awesome. So what is this women's network?
The Women's Network.
Mm-hmm.
The Women's Network was called the Mums in Business Association. So this was created in 2017. Since then, we've helped to create 160 networking events in 160 locations around the world, helped 132 women become best-selling authors.
Wow.
So it was an absolutely incredible journey. It really just shows you the power of social media, and it's gave me, the stepping stone into realizing that, why just support women. At that time in my life, I wanted to support women because I fully understood the struggles of being a single parent trying to run a business. And now I feel that the things that I were offering to these people really could have benefited, the whole of the business industry as a whole, not just women. And so now Immortal Monkey focuses on all sorts of businesses in all sorts of niches, and men are most definitely welcome.
Now that is an unusual name. Where did you come up with Immortal Monkey?
Okay, I always have to give credit to my fiance for this one, because I was trying to think of a name. And, when you're going through that brainstorming phase
Yes.
and you're writing all these words down, and he started telling me about a theory called the Infinity Monkey. So the story goes a little bit like this. I never tell it as well as he does, but basically, in theory, if you put a chimpanzee in front of a typewriter, there is a possibility that they could write Macbeth. it may take, a very, very, very long time, and you'd have to check it. And the chances are probably, 1,000,000 to 1. But there is that chance that that monkey is going to write that manuscript. And so when he started telling me that story, I was like, I love that. It's like, for me, I am one of these people that will not go away until I get the answer that I want. I am the girl that will not take no for an answer. And I keep going and I keep going and I keep going. And it kind of just reminded me of being that little monkey, there, keep going, keep going, keep going. And one of my good friends, Liz, has a charity called Infinity Charity. So we couldn't use the word infinity, but I really like the aspect of the monkey and the typewriter and it lasting forever. And I'm a bit of a cheeky monkey myself. So we decided on immortal, as in forever, keep
Mhm.
going. And the monkey came from, the
Story.
little story at the beginning.
Yeah.
So that was how Immortal Monkey was created. And I have to give full credit to Chris.
Awesome. That's great. So you are in a really wonderful place in your life and impacting women and men now all over the world, and talking to me all the way in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And I just love this. But I have a feeling this wasn't always where you were.
Yes, life was not always like this. If we go back sort of 10 years, that takes me to my reason as to why I started on the journey that took me to where I am now and being able to support so many other business owners. I had been in a really unhealthy, toxic, abusive relationship with my children's father for about 9 years. And it got to a point, like many people who are listening, or, maybe you haven't got to that point yet, but there will come a point and you kind of just think, enough's enough. And there were so many concerns I had at the time. What would people think? How would I cope? What would I do financially?
Mhm.
How was this going to impact on my children? So it took me a long time to decide to make that break. And when I did, I pretty much lost everything. I had no finances. Luckily, I had a roof over my head, but I literally had £34 a week to raise my children, to buy food, to pay our bills. I'm not quite sure what that is in US dollars, but I can tell you it is not a great deal. And
Maybe
it got
50, $60 or something. It's
yeah,
not that
it's
much.
not a lot at all. And it got to a point where I ended up relying on food banks. So I was having to go to charitable organizations that were providing us with food. And this was because the government and the benefits agencies were not there to provide for me in an emergency. They were like, it's going to take 4 or 5 weeks. And I'm like, what do I do in that time? And that was when I realized that I had to figure out what I was going to do long term, because I clearly couldn't rely on my children's dad. I couldn't rely on the system and the government that were meant to be there to support me. And so that's when I decided that I was going to, take the leap and become a wedding photographer. And the only reason I had this skill before having my children, I was a care assistant. And after having my second son, I suffered really badly with postnatal depression. And part of my therapy was to find a hobby or an outlet. And I'd always been interested in photography. I started as an adult student, which was extremely scary. And
Mhm.
I did this at the time when I was still with my partner. So it was extremely difficult. He was very controlling. He wouldn't allow me to socialize after, going to college. And I'm saying this, and I was like a 30-year-old woman, like, so
Yeah.
if you are there and you're thinking, oh, he just wants me home because he misses me, or you know like, if there's so many ways that I was being controlled, and I never even realized. But I still managed to get myself through college. I then uh, i took on a course to become qualified to teach. So not only did I learn a new skill, I'm now capable of teaching other people that skill as well, which I did go on to do. I volunteered for about a year at my local community centre, teaching other people how to set up the basics of photography. And since then, it's been, a tough journey, because even though, I got out of that relationship, there is still a lot of things that were going on with my self-esteem.
Yes.
There was so much more to it than just leaving. And I can even say now, we're talking probably 6, 7 years later, I still have the scars inside
Yep.
for the things that I went through.
Yep.
And that's something that I'm still working on all the time. It was one of the reasons that I found, holistic therapies, meditation, affirmations.
Yep.
So I just feel really grateful, as much as at the time I probably would have said, get me the hell out of here. I now know how strong that I was, because I got through that. And that's one thing that I would say to everybody, when you're thinking about how tough it is, think about some of the other tough things that you've been through. You got through them. You got through them. And that's something that you should be really proud of, and take strength from.
Yeah, instead of beating ourselves up, we survived. We not only survived, we figured out how to thrive. And not all, and when you're in the middle of all of that, it doesn't feel like it, that it's possible, and the, I was a single mom for a while, and I had similar situations. I was working full time, and I made $1 too much to get any kind of food stamps, is what we were called where we were. I couldn't get it. And so figuring out how to feed my daughter and me barely eat at times, and do that. And the fear, it's not, if it was just us by ourselves, we'd figure it out. But when my children is at risk,
It's a whole different ball game. It really is.
oh,
I remember, and I hope that I get this right. There's a film called I Am David Blake, I think it is. It's a British made film. And I actually got to go and see it in a preview at the cinema before it
mhm,
actually came out. And it's about the benefit system from two different perspectives. So from a man who lost his job and was made redundant, always been in the same job all his life.
mhm,
So you see it from his perspective, but you also see it from a single mum's perspective with two children, who initially, when the film starts, she's just got to the job centre. She's running late because she's just moved house. She didn't know what bus to get. She had two children to try and drag along behind her. She got to the job centre and they sanctioned her, which, I've been there. I know lots of other
yep,
people that have been there, and some people do have genuine reasons, but we're not treated like individuals. We're treated like a number in a system.
yep,
So they think one size fits all, and it doesn't. And it shows you really behind the scenes when people, I hate when people kind of have that negative slant on single parents. I didn't choose
no,
to be abused. I didn't choose to be left by myself. I
yep,
left that relationship because it was best for me and my children. And you want to label me. You want to label me because I was strong enough to move
right,
away from something like that. And you want to stigmatize me with a label like single parent. And especially here in the UK, we even have our politicians. This is like what makes me want to vom everywhere. We even have our politicians, they have no idea. Right now, you know, a lot of the UK is living in poverty. Yet, let me tell you, they're not homeless, they're not drug addicts, they are people like you and me who are doing their bloody hardest to get themselves out of a situation. And, sometimes you need to stop and, think about what you don't see going on, because, people labeling, single parents, unemployed, all of those sort of things, th- those labels are not good labels. So, I think we should change it. I have no idea what to, but it's
yeah,
I take pride in the fact that I'm a single mom, because my children are absolutely incredible little human beings. In
yeah,
fact, his teachers just brought me into school today, and he's a bit of a cheeky toe rag, my little one. And as soon as he came out and he went, Mum, the teacher wants to talk to you. And I whispered to him as we walked up, what have you done today? And he went, I don't think it's bad. And I got to the door and the teacher said to me, he's been incredible. He's very shy. As much as he's a little bit cheeky, he's very shy. And today he stood up and explained something extremely well to his class. And his teacher said he told me he had stage fright, but he felt brave enough to do it. And you know, when I hear things like that, I think, oh my goodness, you know, they are amazing. They've been through so much. They are so resilient. Um, and I'm hoping that they can see from being raised by a single mum that anything is possible. If I can raise them on my own and do what I'm doing, then anything in their life is possible.
Awesome. I totally agree. So when you think about, I'd like you to speak to the woman who, two people, the woman who feels trapped in some type of situation. And then I'd also like you to speak to the woman who has a business idea and doesn't know what to do.
Okay, so for anybody that is listening and feels trapped, the first thing I would say is reach out. You are not alone. You may be made to feel like you're alone. You may have no friends around you. You may have no family around you, but you are not alone. Already here in this podcast, you've met
Yes.
two people who are like you, who have been through exactly the same as you. There are millions of us out there, and trust me, when we come together, we are a force. We are a force. So you may feel weak by yourself, but trust me, take that step, reach out to somebody else. There's so many organizations that you can reach out to. Do this safely. You know, if you have a friend that you can trust, if you want to use somebody else's phone, you know, I've been through all that kind of let me see your phone and, you know, looking at emails and stuff. So, you know, do it safely, but there are places out there that will be able to help you. It doesn't have to happen now. You know, if this is triggering something in you that is making you think, I don't want to, I can do this, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore, that's great. This is an amazing start, but this is just the start. Okay, so making that choice inside is the start, and now you can start looking forward to a life where you are extremely happy rather than feeling
Amen.
trapped or fearful. But you know, there are people out there to help you put that plan and that strategy into place. So reach out to them, but know that you will get through this. And you have the strength. There, I don't think there was anything harder in my life than having to leave my children's father, knowing, you know, it's such a tear at your heart, knowing that you are taking a parent away from them. But I can tell you, you know, 6, 7, 8 years later, it was the best thing I ever did. My children are happy and healthy. I'm happy and healthy. And I now really actually value myself. So,
Yeah.
you know, you will get there, and we're here to help.
Amen.
And what was the other question? To anyone with a business idea?
Yes.
Oh, again, go and do it. I am here. My inbox is open. Just go and do it. You know, have a bit of a plan, but don't get too caught up in the plan. Okay. If you have a skill set, if you know that you can solve somebody else's problem with a resource that they are going to pay for, then, you know, you have a business idea right there. So, you know, again, look at what you're good at, look at your competitors, but start small. You know, go and check out webinars. You know, there's so many free resources out there now. Clubhouse, absolutely incredible platform. I have made the most amazing connections over there, met some of the most incredibly, you know, I was going to say wisdom, but the most incredibly wisdom. No, that's not the right word. The most incredibly wise people. It connects you with so many different people from all around the world. I would definitely say be joining Clubhouse, listening in to people who can offer you value, but really just go for it. That would be the thing that I would say. You know, what's the worst? You know, nobody's going to die. I'd say that in like in jest, like seriously, no one's going to die. Don't put your house on it. You know, I'm not saying put your house on it. Estelle said, oh, just go with it. You know, come on, let's be sensible here. But if it means taking a couple of hours out of your week to focus on your side hustle, let's get focused and figure out what it is that is going to take your business from your idea to something that's actually viable, and go do it. And I'm here to help.
And where would they find you?
You can find me on Instagram. My personal account is Estelle Keeber Official. You can check out the business account on Instagram, which is Immortal Monkey Official. And you can also join our Facebook group where there's lots of business tips and tricks, which again is, if you just type in Immortal Monkey, that group will come up as well. But all of the information is over on the website, www.immortalmonkey.co.uk. And please go find me on Clubhouse as well. I would love to say hi to you over there. Just simply my name, Estelle Keeber. And we have a social media mastery club actually over there. So anybody that is interested in learning more about social media, then be sure to join that club.
Awesome. Thank you, Estelle, so much for sharing your story with those listening today and the tips and strategies. And just something, hearing someone else's story that they have made it is inspirational to people. And I want to thank you for sharing today.
Honestly, the pleasure is all mine, all mine, honestly. And I just hope even just one person is listening to this, you know, get your bum into gear, go get that business idea up and rolling, you know, start to make plans to move your life forward, because there is no greater power. Oh, trust me, there's no greater sense of pride and achievement than knowing, you know, you are capable. And believe me, you are capable. So
Awesome. Totally agree.
thank
Another
you so
great
much for
time.
having me.
You are welcome. Thank you for being here. Estelle's story is exactly the kind of story that I focus on in my turning your baggage into luggage so you can actually live the life you've always dreamed. If this resonates with you, schedule a free consultation with me so you can learn more about my Turning Your Baggage into Luggage program. It is transforming women's lives all around the world. So schedule a call with me today or a Zoom call and let us connect, and you can learn more and see if this is a right fit for you. Until next time, this is Donna saying live and love vibrantly.